Hey everybody, this is Michelle Winters, and you're listening to Verbal Shenanigans.
But our shenanigans are cheeky and fun.
Yeah, I mean, his shenanigans are cruel and tragic.
Which makes them not shenanigans at all, really.
Evil shenanigans.
I swear to God, I'll pistol whip the next guy that says shenanigans.
Yeah, you were doing amazing things, Mike. Yes, this is. Oh, hello. Yeah,
Thanks for telling the audience that,
Yeah.
Scott. And that's how you introduce me to the audience every
Shut up.
week.
Enough of this goddamn. Enough of this god crap. I'm done with it. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's edition of the Verbal Shenanigans Podcast, episode 500. And I think I got this right when we tried to record before. 554 tonight. 554. Why are you holding up four fingers? Why?
You said the magic number. 4.
So you hold up the number 4 in your mongoloid style.
Anytime I hear it,
Not even
gotta go up.
even when it's just 4. Anytime a 4 is mentioned. So all
Absolutely.
the 40s, the 140s,
Mhm.
the 84s, the 74s, you just keep throwing up. Your
Gotta rep the 4, baby.
No, you don't have to rep the 4.
That's what we do, man.
And it's a little absurd. We tried to go into an interview tonight that we were doing for a future episode. And right before the guy comes on, because he's going to be on for the third time, a little spoiler alert for people out there. You flipped me. You called it like a creaky 3 or something like that, where you folded
Flipping
your
the
hand.
3 right there.
What is it called?
Droop 3s right there.
The Droopy 3's?
Yeah.
Could you come up with a more disgusting name for holding 3 fingers? So if you went up to somebody and held your fingers like that, it was like, I have the Droopy 3's. You think it's going to be a good thing?
Yeah, when I went to the NASCAR race and everybody was talking about Dale, I'm like, we miss you 3. Droopy 3. Rest in peace.
I don't know if we're gonna make it to 600. I gotta be honest with you. We're talking about Droopy 3's, and I actually messaged you this morning, and if we are consistent like we were last year, our first episode 600 will be the first episode of the new year next year. So don't fall off, Mike. We have a lot of people expecting their New Year's Day to be episode 600. And you already started planning the guest and the song.
Everything's in line. I think Obama's gonna be cool with New Year's Day doing the interview. I gotta figure out.
Is he okay with that game we have planned? Obama or your mama? Like that game we came up with?
He said it was eloquent and he can't wait to do it. He might have Michelle be the guest referee for the game.
I mean, guys, New Year's Day, start marking your calendars. Michelle and Barack Obama coming on the episode.
That's a 4 and a Troopy 3, 2027.
First off, your hands are backwards, you moron.
What?
Stop.
It's still 7.
More than likely, our only audience is on audio, and you're sitting here flashing gang signs.
That's for our pal that left us in the Wu-Tang Clan. So.
No, you read the meme that said member of Wu-Tang Clan died, and it was like one of the guys that like helped them start up. It wasn't even a member, a card-carrying member of the Wu-Tang Clan.
I'll flip the 4s for my boy.
You got to do some research before you send me your meme news.
I don't need to do anything but be me, and that's amazing.
Stop. I hate this show. So Mike, it finally happened. I've been starting a lot of the episodes lately because I feel like every week that you think that there's doom and gloom, the next week's like, I got something else for you idiots to get upset. Now, I firmly believe that this is just all caused by like Russian and Chinese interference. Because why would you spend money on like missiles and things like that and going to war when you could just spend money on like hijacking the infrastructure of like social media and bots and just making people angry about things. Like I fully believe this is somehow from the outside also. Let's just watch the United States decay.
I mean, what it boils down to is bullets cost money, but saying stuff about your mother and deep down the U.S. has this and that going on and Epstein files, that works way too better. And at least, I mean, it's free
way
to make
too
a
better,
Facebook.
guys. Way too better.
Yeah, it's a free Facebook account. You don't have to worry about getting charged for it. So ending anybody wanting to go anywhere for any information, why need to shoot anybody?
Yes. So, but it finally happened this weekend. The country came together. I thought the Epstein files would have been the thing to finally like cross the aisles. I thought, I don't know. I thought 9/11 was going to be the thing that kept us together forever. That shortly died after. But I thought Saturday's event of the United States men's hockey game was going to be the thing that everyone would be like, that was just an awesome moment in the United States history. Now, Mike, you saw the game, correct? I
saw first two periods. I went out, but I saw the highlights of the game, obviously, and it was an amazing back and forth game, regardless of the result. It was two powerhouses playing each other there.
Yep. You kind of sound like the Canadian sideline reporter. It's okay, regardless of the results. We'll be okay.
We'll be okay, you know. I mean, sure, we suck in curling too, but we'll live. We'll live. We cheating that.
I am going through a little Olympic withdrawal. Like I don't know how you like if you're really into it, but I really love the Olympics. I really love the Winter Olympics for some reason the most. I love the hockey. I have no problem like sitting on my couch watching a curling match legitimately and being interested in it the whole time. Like the coverage was so good this year with like the drones following the bobsleds and the skiers and I don't know. I love the stories of the Olympians. Like I really have like a nostalgia kind of thing when the Olympics goes.
So here's a question. We got winter, summer Olympics. Why can't we have spring and fall?
You want spring Olympics? Okay.
Yes.
All
like
right.
Daisy picking.
Yeah. Well, okay. Let's get into some of the key events of spring Olympics.
Oh, I mean, there's daisy picking. There's galosh splashing. You know, you have to, when the spring rain comes down, you have to see if you can get the highest marks for water as you gallop in there with your galoshes.
So we got galoshing and flower picking so far. Okay.
Yeah.
Right.
We need any more. I figured that'd be a good 2-week event.
That's the whole spring Olympics.
You know, maybe we'll have a bunch of people with spring allergies, see who could survive the longest outside. Don't know, some kind of like a marathon right there.
You're going to award someone if they're better at pollen than the other person.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Have you dealt with pollen? It freaking sucks. If you can go out into pollen, you are an athlete.
All right. So that's the spring Olympics. I got it. Can you just give us a quick summary of the fall Olympics?
Jack-o'-lanterning. The professional jack-o'-lantern, none of that, regional stuff. I want like pros doing that.
Now, will they have like a panel of judges like the ice skaters or?
Oh yeah. And there's going to be music and there's going to be judging on garments and items like that.
Pumpkins have garments. Okay.
Well, the people who are jack-o'-lantern.
Oh, the competitor. Got it.
Yes,
I pictured the pumpkin in a garment.
I mean, that would be pretty cool. I mean, I would give a gold for that right there. No, maybe a turkey dash, going into a grocery store and they needing to punch somebody out to come out with the last frozen turkey in the grocery store.
Okay, I like it. All right, so the
Turkey
Fall
boxing.
Olympics, those are the two events of the fall.
Yeah, we just developed this. I can't have 20 events yet.
I was actually going to say, like, I appreciate you starting small, not going too big, because then you'll get events like from what we saw heard in the game last week. You were an antagonist in the end. You did lose.
Well, no, Harry lost.
No, you lost, and then
it came down to the final question, and Harry screwed it up. So clearly, Harry is the loser in all this.
No, it didn't come down to the final question. You lost, and then you had one phone a friend option, and he bombed horribly too.
All I know is the game was on the line. I wasn't out there on the mound, and it's not my fault. Harry gave up a grand slam.
Gotcha. So. Okay. So you saw some of the game on Sunday, and I will honestly say I think I've mentioned this on the podcast. Like, I love events where it's not a team anymore, and like people come together to watch things. Like, I know that sounds really stupid, like, and like very harmonious, but the World Cup, when you go to a bar and watch the U.S. game with everybody rooting for the same team, it's a really fun experience. It's not Redskin, Commanders, whatever you guys are called, Giants. It's not Cowboys. This guy's a Packer fan. Everyone's like roots behind it. And I always thought that was like, I don't know, call me crazy, a pretty cool thing. Like when everybody's like likes or is rooting for the people from where they're from.
Yeah, it's a rarity to get that done. So I see all the glamour there is in watching the events and why I enjoyed so much. I'm not sure there's a lot of bar patrons going out to watch certain events and all. I mean, maybe they're drunk people at a bar watching Lindsey Vonn almost lose her leg because of trying to ski on a torn ACL. But
no. Are you watching something over there? What are you looking at?
You.
Oh, I'm over to your left?
Yes.
Oh, why am I not dead center?
I don't know. That's usually my spot, I would assume.
Wait.
I mean, the best is when
stop.
When your computer rebooted
stop.
and it was just a big picture of me. That was perfect.
No. Wait, so like I'm trying to talk to you. You're looking. It looks like you're like looking at somebody else or like a cake with a sorting screen. So
no, that would be over there.
Wait. So let me get this straight. You have a 2-monitor setup, right?
Yeah.
And you put yourself in the monitor in front of you.
Like, as you can see, this is me.
Yeah.
This is you. That's the setup. I don't know what your big problem is right here.
No, I think you have one monitor where your face is in it, and then you have me on a side monitor. I think you're staring at yourself. Are you staring at yourself the entire podcast?
I do not stare at myself the entire podcast. I did enjoy it when your computer rebooted. It was just me. I'm like, oh, that's beautiful. I can stare at me and then sort some cakes over here, wait for you to come back. But
are you still playing that game?
I do it once in a while.
No, you sort of. I do it.
I sort.
Yeah, not that much. Not that much.
I wouldn't call it addictive, but
okay. Let's get back to this. Okay, are you into the Olympics?
I think I'm more of a summer Olympics guy than winter. I think the basketball and the track are some of the better events, but. I did tune in here and there for the Winter Olympics, for the curling, the hockey, some of the speed skating items like that.
Yeah, I mean, the Dutch figure skaters alone, I could just watch them, but that's a whole side issue here. So I think it fills that void of the Super Bowl just ended, baseball is still a couple weeks off, and my carrier doesn't even carry the Mets anymore, so I listen to the Mets on the radio. It's absurd.
This is what it's come to nowadays. Remember when it was on like the big time radio, like sitting on the floor listening to the game, and then TVs came, and you're like, I'll never have to worry about that again. Nope, we're back to the old ways, and we can't afford our TVs, and they apparently can't make money putting the game on a television set, so I don't know.
Dude, it's insane to me. I know we're going off on all sorts of tangents here, people, but it's insane to me the local team, the team that plays, I don't know, 40 miles away from me, I can't put on a TV. And now I pay for YouTube TV.
Mm-hmm.
And they had SNY, which was the Met station, and it left. And you had to go get your own like MLB or SNY app. And I just stopped. I said I refuse to pay for any more. So I'm just done. I'm done with the services. Like if I miss something, I miss something. And it's kind of been liberating in a way to kind of like detach from sports a little bit, instead of always being like, that's all I watch. I just love. Anyway. I know we sound like we're on speed tonight a little bit. Let's dial back in again. Let's you're on speed. Is that why you're looking at me in the side camera? I can't handle this.
I got to keep up.
Put me in the middle camera. Put me in the main camera right now.
Let me see here. How's that work? Pin it. There you go.
Am I in front of you now?
You're dead center in front of me.
Oh, see, I feel a little better. I feel like my podcast. Why are you looking like that? What are you doing?
Well, I'm in the little box on top, so I want to keep an eye on myself. So,
for those of you again just listening to podcast, Mike he just shot up randomly in like soldier motion, like, and stood still. And didn't say anything again as I was just talking, and just stares at the camera.
I mean, once they see me in the camera, all words don't need to be required.
Stop. Like you like I don't know. What are we doing here?
Remember we were talking about hockey?
Yeah, I know. I've been trying to get back to the hockey, and you just keep telling me how beautiful you are.
Well, thank you for telling me how much. All right. Talk about hockey. All
right. So the hockey game. Maybe the most beautiful script you could write if you were writing a sports movie, right? Other than them being professionals, and America has been pretty damn good at hockey for a while, which everyone forgets. But, haven't beat Canada ever in the Olympics. Haven't won since 1980. The team is playing good. They have brothers on the teams. They have a lineage on the team. It's all setting up for American hockey. American hockey has to face the big bad Canadians after winning in overtime on a close loss. I mean, a close win. They face Canada. They score early. It's unbelievable. Now, this is what I'm thinking during the game. It's unbelievable. Like, oh my God, the U.S. just won. They're taking it to them with a lead. And it's amazing. Now we close the game. Canada scores late to tie it up. We're going to overtime. But before that, we're going to have everything under the sun. We're going to have Canada dominating. We're going to have close calls by the U.S. We're going to have post hits. We're going to have a goalie that saves 45 shots or whatever it was. It's going to be unbelievable. And then in hockey fashion, little Jack Hughes, who kind of looks like he's 15 years old still, gets his teeth whacked out. He picks his teeth up. 2 minutes later, he takes a terrible penalty, and you're giving big bad Canada their chance to score. And they don't. And they force it to overtime. And that little Jack Hughes, who we went, oh, man, that's terrible. His teeth got knocked out. So, oh, no, Jack, you're going to be the laughing stock of, the Olympics for your penalty. Scores the game-winning goal. Helmets thrown everywhere. I am eating this up on the couch. I am like, this is amazing. I'm trying to get my son into it, and he doesn't want anything to do with it, really. He's like, yeah, cool, hockey. And even after they win the gold medal, they bring out Johnny Gaudreau's kids, who died in the bicycle accident. Well, I guess it was more of a driver hitting them. Terrible story. Kids come out of the ice, take the pictures. Bam. End of the Olympics. Curtain goes down. And the U.S. wins. And everybody's texting you. And it's just the best feeling ever. And I'm so glad that feeling, Mike, has stayed till today.
Out of curiosity, I know you're on the YouTube. Have you watched TV since that night?
No.
No?
No, I haven't watched much TV.
Okay. Then now, did you watch the celebration in the back after the win?
First off, the celebration in the back sounds really, really dark. Yeah, I saw some videos of the boys having a couple beers and getting a call from the president and, doing champion things.
Yeah. And the head of the FBI got a gold medal put on his head, apparently.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I did happen to see the head of the FBI drinking and partying with the team like he won the Olympic medal.
I thought he was like the backup goalie that they never use.
I mean, the performance he put on, they didn't even need a backup ever again. Yeah, I saw all that, Mike, obviously. Not a great look, I guess. But also, in the end, doesn't really matter to me. I think this is a moment that unites the country together. People are going to be excited about these young kids, these 25-year-olds who won a medal. Like you went to a NASCAR event with your dad.
Correct.
Now, did you guys hear any clamorings even in a NASCAR event that the U.S. won?
It's kind of loud with 40 some odd cars.
I didn't know if you just saw like people like going like, yeah, woo, we won.
Well, when you have an entire stadium on their phones, it's kind of hard to get any reception. So no, nobody. And if they celebrated, it would just be them mouthing something, and we just figure like somebody yelled Dale or something like that.
Now, so the event I thought was amazing. Jack Hughes, who is a Devils player, I don't really go nuts about him. The knock on him is that he's like kind of soft, like he gets hurt a lot. Mm-hmm. And this like definitely will help his image, the image of the teeth. But the photo with the American flag and the teeth hanging out and everything, I'm like, wow, like what a great moment. That was my thoughts going into Monday. Like what a great thing. Everybody's texting each other. There's videos of eagles killing geese, and, people having fun with it in America and everything. Now, Mike, people immediately, right around like 24 hours later, the fun seemed to end again.
Yeah. They were brought out during the presidential State of the Union.
Yeah, but not even that just yet. Before that, you started to see like social media start to turn on them a little bit, like, oh, they're partying in Miami, they're going so crazy. They're the women's team didn't get a call from the president, and he made a women's team joke, and all of a sudden it started to be. You saw that political bot, the algorithm starting to work. Like, oh, we can make this political. Like the boys team gets all the attention, and the women's team doesn't. And how could they joke like that with the president and whatnot? So we started to see the wheels start to turn a little bit.
Yeah, I did enjoy listening to their interviews on like the Good Morning Americas, where you could tell that they could barely talk, and if they tried to raise their voice, they would probably be vomiting all over the stage. Yeah, during that time frame.
No, I call me a crazy conservative here, if you will. I think if I won a gold medal, I would probably go out and drink with my buddies and try to like have a blast and remember the moment. And you're getting the national spotlight. I would probably also be pretty jazzed up.
Yeah, and you want to go out with your boys because boys rule and girls drool. So that's why the women's team didn't show up. Yeah. They drool.
So now the left has to get going, you can't have all this America stuff without the old left starting to come in and say they hate America, and the women's team was disrespected in this, and how could you? Basically, it all comes down to is that they got the call from Trump, and that's all they needed to ignite that fire and be like, oh, the boys love Donald Trump and all this stuff. So now we see the second, seed planted into the field.
Yeah, and they got like the special like surprise kind of like it was like an Ellen show where it's just like, oh man, it'd be really cool if the hockey team showed up. Oh my god. And they were coming in from like every door. It was like a Broadway play almost coming down the aisles to celebrate their victory.
Now, Mike, where in our like how far have we got? When did it start to change that? Like even like a sporting event, which is, by the way, I want to remind people the probably average age on the US hockey team has to be like 26 or something like that. If you average them all out, they're like grilling Jack Hughes, who said he loves to play for America, and American hockey is a brotherhood. And the women's team brought it home and all that, which was an amazing event. Also, I did get to watch that. But anyway, and then cheering for American sports. When did that become? You can't even do that on the left or right, because I am completely out of it at this point. So when did it become, even like a cool thing? It is now just like not allowed to be cool on both sides.
If I'm gonna take a guess, it'd probably be around the 2008 time frame when like certain people would make the announcement that I'm not going to the White House for this victory kind of thing. I think it could go back to like Bush, even not even like Obama, where it just magically everybody's like, it's not just, hey, nobody will notice that I'm not there. It has to be, I have to inform everybody that my politics will not allow me to be anywhere near said person, and then just kept flipping back and forth with whomever was in office.
Now, I'm going to go out on the line and say that Olympic game, to me, okay, call me old crotchety conservative Scott or whatever, even though, again, I'm saying this ironically. I thought that was maybe top 3 sporting events in the last decade. I thought it was so much fun to watch. The twists and turns were amazing, and just like people being so into it and together. And I think everybody was like, oh, Sunday at 8 a.m. sucks. I think that even added to it, because everyone just got up and watched the game instead of like went out and did their day and couldn't catch it and whatnot. I think all that added together, top 3 sporting event in the last 10 years.
I could see that. I mean, it probably got the most media afterwards, not for like a regular sporting event like the Super Bowl or World Series or anything like that. I kind of wonder how some of those U.S. hockey players felt when tonight, when the NHL season started, and some of them play for Winnipeg and Ottawa and Toronto, and they're going back after 3 days of nonstop. You are the greatest human being of all time, to go literally, I spend half my year where they're going to hate me.
Yeah, I'm sure there's a little let down for a game, but I bet by the second game, I mean, these guys are professional athletes. They probably party a lot more than they tell you on a regular basis also. But
well, why don't they tell me this?
They don't want you there, man. They don't want you to show up and be like, hey, guys.
Yeah, it was only a 8-hour drive to Miami. I could have been there and just be jamming with them. I mean, Pat McAfee paid for the whole bill, so I wouldn't have to worry about flipping my own cash.
Now, Mike, when you initially saw you were at an event, which we'll get to in a minute. You saw the U.S. highlights. Did any thought of yours go anywhere south of like, oh wow, this is pretty damn cool. The boys won it.
That's pretty much it. I mean, that's the whole point of the Olympics. Send your best athletes to a neutral site and go at it with sporting events, and the best team wins, and hopefully nobody gets popped for steroids, so we add to that level.
So like that happens, and now you start to see people changing online. Do you buy any of this? Like, do you think anybody is actually offended by any of this?
No, it's just the polarization of politics nowadays. It's just simply, I hate him. They came out to him. I hate you. So
Now, the boys, the team who, again, the reason I said they're 25 years old is because people are now basing a political opinion on telling young athletes they shouldn't go to the White House. Now, Mike, if I told you 13 years ago when we started the podcast or whatever, we got podcast of the year, we're going to go meet the president, we're going to go to the White House, would you be like, nah, man, like, I don't agree with the, when did we start this? 13 years? So maybe it was like
2013, 2014.
Yeah, so it was Obama years. Like, maybe you're like, I don't like Obama, I can't go get the podcast of the year award.
Even if I hated the guy, I would go just on a joke, just on like, go there, do the whole camera thing or whatever, and then I can come back and be like, let me tell you something.
But don't you think, like, not even that, like, who cares about like what president you follow? But like, wouldn't you go just like, I got to go to the White House and like meet the president of the United States? Like, isn't that like a kind of like a crazy thing you never thought you would do?
No, I always.
I know you guys have.
In fact, I'm a little upset he hasn't called me yet. And that's why I'm angry right now.
I'm pretty sure you're in the emails. I'm pretty sure you're in the Epstein emails.
It's just boils down to whether you like them or hate them, you just go and grin and bear it, and hell, you can leave whenever you want. So,
yeah. So, but again, like, now I know 40-year-old, 50-year-old, 60-year-old people putting their eggs in a basket and saying like pretending like ripping 25-year-old kids apart. Now, Mike, look at a photo of Jack Hughes. He looks 17 years old. That's in some photos. 22 years old, maybe. You're going to base your political opinion about what Jack Hughes says?
I mean, he is on the Devils, so
you would sabotage the Devils.
Yeah, I would have Gritty assassinate him.
Yeah, but here's the offensive thing he said: "I love playing for America. The U.S. hockey is so strong in the community, and thank you. This is a dream come true." Essentially, that's what he said.
I mean, that was terrible. I mean, you're professing your love to a country, which I assume is masculine. So that means he's coming out in this scenario. So we have to worry about the conservatives there. And, he says, I can't wait to play for the country again. So, I mean, repeating, that's something that the left don't like. So
yes.
And God was probably involved in there, so we got to get mad at that. He probably drives a Subaru. I don't like those cars.
Well, that was a good song in the 90s. God loves Subarus. You don't remember that song? Yeah,
I do.
What if God loves Subarus? No, I just made that song up. Yeah. So anyway, I don't know where any of this is going, but if we can't even be happy for like 25-year-old kids like winning the Olympics, or the country, like your neighbor could be a hockey player and he made the team, and isn't that awesome? We can't get past any of this. So that won't unite us. The Epstein files release won't unite us. The wars won't unite us. So it doesn't matter anymore. We're all dead.
What about our next guest? Maybe she can unite the world.
Yeah.
That's called a segue.
Yep. But yeah, let's stop talking about the U.S. hockey team.
All right. Tonight, we are spotlighting some local Georgia music. As my wife has been starting her musical adventures, we have been receiving support from the community down here. And tonight, we are spotlighting violinist Michelle Winters. You may see her playing in the Atlanta Symphony Orchestra. She performs at the Atlanta Hartsfield-Jackson International Airport. She is part of the Atlanta-based Celtic Woman tribute band Cailini, and if you're a fan of Stranger Things, you may have heard her play violin in the background as Hopper proposed to Joyce versatile in all forms of music and hopefully conversation too, Scott. Let us bring Michelle Winters on our podcast.
Let's get Michelle on the line.
Hey, how are you?
Hey, Michelle. I'm Mike. This is Scott. Welcome to the show.
Going on,
Hi.
Michelle? How are you?
I'm good.
Awesome. Michelle, we'll just get right into it. As I've heard from various kids, now there's basically two stories of a musicianal kid. It's either A, they loved it and wanted to get into it right away, or B, they were screaming and crying as their mom dragged them to violin lessons. What kind of kid was Michelle Winters?
Definitely kid A. It's funny because actually growing up, I've the youngest of three, and my two older sisters, they took piano lessons, and so the day that my mom sold the piano, she had this like feeling in her gut, like, oh, I did something terrible, and it's funny because of the two older sisters, I'm the only one that pursued music as a career, so definitely, definitely kid A.
Okay.
Now, were you trained in multiple instruments, or was violin like the first thing you picked up?
Yeah, violin was the first instrument that I picked up. A couple years later, I did take guitar lessons. And in traditional classical music school, I was required to take like basic piano training.
Yep.
But yep, violin is my main thing. So,
Now,
yeah.
I don't want to brag. I went to preschool. It was called Little Fiddler. And as our recital, I had to play peanut butter sandwich on the violin. So,
Scott, why didn't you share this before in the podcast? We could have had a fiddle off tonight.
We're kind of equal, is what I'm saying. We're equals.
That's awesome.
Out of curiosity, how much does like violin transfer to like other instruments? Do you feel like you could pick up anything? If we gave you like a sitar, do you think you could rock it?
That's a really great question. When I picked up guitar as a kid, it translated really easily. The funny thing is that when guitarists try to learn violin, they actually have a really difficult time. But yeah, I would definitely say that violin has helped me also with like music theory and whatnot. Now, I remember my very first music theory professor saying like, no, don't think of your original instrument. You have to think of the keyboard. And in hindsight, yeah, it made sense because a lot of the kids in my class, they were either vocalists or some sort of brass player. But the thing about violin is that we can do chords and arpeggios and stuff like that. So, I mean, it helped me with my music theory. So,
Now, see, you talk a lot about being able to step out, from classical violin to, I'm assuming, getting a lot of orchestra and maybe wedding gigs and playing cocktail and being able to step out into pop and rock and stuff like that. You've claimed it being very like liberating and whatnot. What was like your first not encounter or your first experience like stepping out of, okay, this is the traditional violin? What was your first opportunity to kind of spread your wings a little bit?
sure. I was very fortunate in that a couple of years into my violin playing, what actually got me into not playing without sheet music and playing by ear was a family member of mine. She had a bluegrass band where every Friday she and her buddies, they would come into what she called the Playhouse, which was an old house that she converted. And so we would be playing fiddle tunes and then also having like a supper where everybody would bring something like a potluck. And so being thrown into that as a kid, somehow it didn't scare me off or anything. I had no idea what we were playing or like I said, there was no sheet music, but I loved that it was a sense of community. It was me, this little youngin, playing with these seniors, and everybody was so receptive, and we had a great time wherever we went, whether it was her little playhouse or fiddle contests or playing at nursing homes. And to me, I don't know, I love that so much.
Now, when you play fiddle, do you have to like pop a string on the bow to play? Because I always found the best fiddle players are the one that has like a string flaring as they're just rocking it right there.
Right. No, that is not a prerequisite. No, not at all.
Oh, darn. So what do you think was like, as I know you grew up with classic, what was like your first kind of like rock song that you either looked up or played by ear where you're like, all right, this is my jam, this is my OG song here?
Sure. So this might date me a little bit, but
You're
this
talking
was
to a bunch of 40-year-olds right here, just to throw it out there.
Well, so I remember this was before I decided to even pursue music in any sort of way, but I was just plucking around, fiddling around with my instrument. And at the time, Panic at the Disco's I Write Sins, Not Tragedies had just come out. And that intro, that cello intro, I was able to pick it out on violin. And I remember going to school the next day and I was like, listen, guys, I can do it. And they were like, oh my God, you're the coolest kid here.
Yeah.
That only lasted for like a week.
I was almost wondering I was wondering if you were going to say Yellow Card. You know, like they had the violin in the pop punk band. I was wondering if that
They
stepped
do.
in.
Yeah, not gonna lie, Ocean Avenue is always one of my favorites, but not, it was I Write Sins, Not Tragedies.
So when did you feel like, okay, this is not just love, this is going to be my career? Was it instantaneous? Were you still like going to college to be an accountant and coming back? What was your life like?
Sure. I think I decided to pursue music when I was around 16 or 17. I take that back, pursue it seriously. So growing up, I did not practice at all. I had no intentions on practicing or anything like that. I know I loved music and wanted to continue to play for the rest of my life, but yeah, I didn't start taking it very seriously until I was 16, 17. And that's when I realized, oh, if I wanted to be a serious classical musician, I had to play catch up with folks that had started anywhere from ages 3 to 5 and with a really good teacher. But the deciding factor for me when I decided not to pursue classical music anymore was about 10 years ago. I was working on the Mendelssohn Violin Concerto, which is my most favorite classical piece in the world. And I was so stoked because I was like, yes, finally something that I love so much. This is it. Yes. But I realized there was this disconnection. I loved the piece, but I wasn't enjoying playing it or practicing it. And I was really miserable in my life at the time. So I noticed that, okay, if I'm calling myself a musician, but I feel really unhappy, I need to really focus, like I need to reassess my life and reassess who I am. So I noticed at the time I was listening to a lot of Guns N' Roses and Bruno Mars. And so what I would do is I would put a timer for like 30 minutes and just play to whatever I wanted. It could be free improvisation, it could be jamming along to some songs, whatever, just to get that creativity going. And I noticed that within that 30 minutes, I felt authentically happy. And I saw that folks like Lindsey Sterling, black violin, two cellos, Apocalyptica, if they can be string players and have successful careers outside of the classical music community, you know what? I can too. Hard work beats talent when talent doesn't work hard. So, yeah.
It's interesting you say that, you know, as we're talking about you kind of playing to rock and whatnot, but in like the last year, you've been doing a lot of like Celtic music.
Yeah.
So I'm curious, like, as you transfer back to that, because that's a very, you know, it's a very traditional style loaded with strings and whatnot. I'm curious, like, is that like almost an adjustment to go into something like that? Is that a new challenge for you, or is that like stepping into familiar territory?
No, it is 100% a brand new challenging territory for me, but I'm very happy about that. I'm part of a Celtic Woman tribute band. We call ourselves Cailini. Cailini means girlfriends or like, you know, girly friends in Irish. And when Olivia, our band leader, first reached out to me, I was like, yeah, sure, whatever. Sounds like fun. I hope we get to play a Dropkick Murphys tune or two.
Okay.
But
Yep.
yep. But with this journey, I've learned so much history, and I didn't want to be some sort of like Irish fiddle poser. So I've been diving into a lot of Irish fiddle lately. And there's a session near me that I try to go to as much as possible, but also familiarizing myself with names and tunes. And yeah, it's been very interesting, also very difficult, but I like that it's been fun.
Yeah, it's funny because last night I watched Sinners for the first time, and I don't know if you saw it, but there's so much Irish music in it. It kind of made me think of this interview today. So I was like, oh, I wonder if she knows any of these tunes in this movie.
Interesting. I have not seen it. I've seen bits of it from like watching other people watch it on an airplane, but not like audio wise. Yeah.
Yeah. Essentially, the vampires are like they're like Irish vampires.
So funny.
And like as they turn, they start using traditional Irish music to kind of like rally themselves up. It was pretty interesting. A very interesting movie. I kind of dug it.
Interesting.
If anybody's listening, by the way, spoilers. If you just forget everything Scott said, just fast forward and all. I know
Trust
you
me.
heard it, but just don't.
Me
listen.
saying they're Irish vampires doesn't spoil anything.
No, I don't think it does.
So, out of curiosity, I've seen you do still classical stuff and all your fun stuff. I see you at the airports. Talk about kind of like your vibe going into a concert. Do you have to change your mindset when it's like, all right, we're in the orchestra, we're prim and proper, we're gonna play this beautiful song, I gotta stay calm, and the versus, I'm gonna rock Thunderstruck over here, or do you use the same way?
And when Mike says he sees you at the airport, he literally means he's watching you from your baggage claim.
That's a really great question. I try to, when I'm at a classical setting, of course, kind of can't get up and like rock on or anything like that. I do find myself either moving a lot to the music. I have found myself just profusely crying at classical concerts before because the music would be so beautiful. But I guess it's kind of like if I'm at a rock show, I'm going to be high energy, and at a classical show, I'm still going to be high energy, just in a different fashion.
Yeah. I gotta. So my niece is very into Lindsay Sterling. They saw her around Christmas time, and I know you got to experience working with her. I'm curious, like, what. One, I'm sure the experience was something to talk about, but I'm curious if there's anything you learned from, someone who either about the business of this or being able to stand out, kind of playing an original style music and making it work for her. Like if there's things you took from her just from working with her.
For sure. So just to be clear, I've never worked with Lindsay.
Oh, okay.
You did bump into her at the airport. I saw the Instagram.
Yep. She, that moment when she saw me performing, it still leaves me speechless to this day. The fact that she didn't just leave it as an Instagram story, she actually made it as a public post on all of her socials. I thought that was very kind of her. And I saw her do her touring with the symphony, a night at the symphony. That's it. That was the name of the tour, where she would perform with different symphony orchestras. And honestly, that was probably one of the top performances I'd ever seen of anybody in my life. Obviously, knowing her music and I guess you could say growing up with it, to hear so many different elements from dubstep to rock to now a more traditional classical setting. The fact that this one artist, this one individual is able to genre bound so much, it leaves me astounded. And I love that she's able to bring that to the table. But also the fact that she always wants to improve herself and always bring something different to the table. I remember my first show that I saw her was maybe 7-8 years ago. And if somebody were to tell me, okay, the same songs that she's going to be doing. Now imagine that plus aerialism. I would be like, no way. There's no way that Lindsay would be doing some sort of aerial stuff. But she is. And I commend her for that. I commend her mentality of always being the best that you can be and bring to the table. But the fact that she's a woman in the music industry, it is extremely difficult. And I credit her so much.
Do you think like, as you do something like you almost have to step out, especially nowadays, like into other genres to almost bring people back into the appreciation of like classical music and the violin itself? Like, is it almost necessary to, this is what I need to do to grab people's attention, and then it's almost like reverse, like starting with something modern and bringing them back into something classic?
So from my perspective, what kind of gave me that confirmation that we don't have to be a classical musician was I was performing at the Atlanta airport, and I was trying to connect with passengers. And I noticed that it was easier for me to connect with them playing pop and rock tunes rather than classical.
Right.
Now, with that being said, I noticed it worked that way because that was me being authentically myself. I connect personally better with pop and rock tunes, while I know there's a lot of folks out there that connect better with classical music. So I think it all depends on the individual and how they connect with the music, I think.
Sure.
Yeah.
As you brought back up the airport, I'm kind of curious, what is like the best story you ever have of like seeing somebody just like miserable in the airport and bringing a smile on their face? Or if you want to bring up some a-hole who screamed, you can go ahead, but I think the first one is more beautiful.
Well, I was about to say my favorite celebrity sighting, mind you, if I can share that story, if that's all right.
Go ahead.
Okay, perfect. So I was setting up to play, and I had just set up my sign, and I see these two folks walking by, a man and a woman. I noticed that the woman is carrying like a really nice violin case. And it dawned on me that it was Anne-Sophie Mutter. Anne-Sophie Mutter was a pioneer in classical music for women. She was like the head violin soloist for Herbert von Karajan with the Berlin Philharmonic, and is just an inspiration to me. So I realized I had forgotten a cable and had to go back to my car, and I realized it was either then or never. I would love to get a photo with her, and now was the opportunity. So I found her at her gate, and I walked up to her, and I said, "Frau Mutter, you've been an inspiration to me. Can I get a photo with you?" And at first she was a little hesitant because she was traveling and didn't, have any makeup on or anything. And I said, "This wasn't for social media. This was for me as a violinist. Your music's been really inspirational." So she said, "Fine, okay." I handed my phone to her travel companion, and I didn't ask who he was or anything. In fact, I thought he was maybe like a secret boyfriend or something. I'm not going to inquire about stuff like that. You never know, especially with celebrities. So I had my phone to her travel companion, and he takes a couple photos, and I turn to her and I say, "Thank you so much. You're just absolutely amazing." She turns to her travel companion and says, "He's amazing too." And I tap her on the arm, and I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure he's great. I'm sure." Yeah. When I get home later that day, I scroll on social media, and I realize it was John Williams. I said to John Williams' face, "Yeah, I'm sure he's great."
You keep working, little buddy. You'll do something.
Yeah. Exactly. I'm like, "Oh yeah, I'm sure he is."
3 more Star Wars movies, then you'll finally get it.
That's hilarious. God, imagine the music the two of those people make together. That's crazy.
I think actually John Williams wrote some sonatas for her, and I think it's published. Yeah.
So, like, as a comic, I've played in some of the worst places you can imagine: bars, pizza shops, Chinese restaurants. When I was in bands in high school, we'd play any little corner of the room. Now, I'm curious. There's got to be some really unique places or gigs that you've picked up along the way coming up, because a violin, like, not so many people play it. So people, I feel like, are always looking for them for different things. Is there any like gig that stands out to you? Like, this is the weirdest setting for the violin?
That might take me a minute. Only because I've been at some interesting places and I usually try to forget them.
Yep. Oh yeah.
Um, Shoot, I can't think of any right now. I guess there is this one conference where they have a essentially like an after party for their customers.
Yep.
And I've been the entertainment for that. And what they did was they set up a stage on top of a pool. So we're standing on top of
Okay.
this pool.
Mhm.
And fortunately, I have not fallen or anything, but it's been one of those gigs where it's like, okay, we can't jump too much.
Yes.
This is really terrifying.
Yeah. That's like I've done these gigs before where they hire us for like a Christmas party, and we get there and we're like, okay, and we find out that nobody knows that there's going to be comedy, and everyone's like excited to celebrate Christmas and talk and have drinks, and then they're like, okay, 100 people, sit down and be quiet and listen to these idiots that you didn't know were coming. It's a miserable experience. So surprise comedy doesn't work. I don't know if surprise violin works a little better, but
I think surprise violin might work out if with a little bit of planning. So
yeah, at least you can like people can listen to you. You can't just like talk during comedy. This doesn't work.
Yeah, no,
But-
sorry.
So kind of talk about how you got some of these, got into some films and so forth. I know you're in Pitch Perfect, and we're going to talk about that one other thing you recently were in. I think a couple people saw on the Netflix, but talk about like your first encounters getting on television.
Sure. I believe it was actually the Pitch Perfect 3 gig. I think that was my first encounter. I mean, I think I'd done some news stuff, but I don't really count that because they're just like 5 minutes and you're done. But no, some real camera work was Pitch Perfect 3. So yeah.
All right. And so there's this thing that ended recently called Stranger Things. Scott, I think you've heard of that once before.
I've heard of it once or twice.
Yes. And our friend here, Michelle, she was not only in the finale, she is serenading Hopper as he's giving a ring in one of the final scenes. Kind of talk about how you got into that gig, or was like the first steps. Did they even tell you, oh, by the way, this is Stranger Things, or if you tried out for something, they're just like, hush, hush, secret project?
Yeah, so when I got the call for that, it was the keys player. He was arranging all the players at the time, and they had already assigned who was going to be playing what until I got the call. And apparently, I was the last person that they were trying to find. When they first reached out to violinist number one, she couldn't make the gig because being on set for a film, you're gone all day. You have no idea when you're going to be called, and you're essentially just in holding until they're ready for you. And she couldn't commit to that 'cause of family reasons. So it then went to her business partner, who was more of a cellist. And they were like, "Oh, you know what? I think Michelle would be perfect for this. Michelle's done some other camera work. Let's see if she's available." And I made it happen. So that's how that worked out.
And what was that like? Did you like what did you know it was the finale? Did you know much about the episode you were in? Were you sworn to secrecy for God knows how long? Like what was that reality like?
So when I got the call, they were like, "Yeah, it's the finale for Stranger Things." I was like, "Oh, oh my God, I have to do everything in my power to say yes." Because it was one of my favorite shows at the time. And I think the day of filming, I was actually supposed to have a rehearsal. And I told them, I was like, "Listen, calls like this don't always happen. I have to take it." So the day before we actually shot, we went in for hair and makeup and just costume fitting. And they cut my hair. Now, my hair, I think where it is now is where it was prior to them cutting it, but they cut it to shoulder length. Wow. And they gave me bangs, which I know for a lot of people, including guys, people don't understand how significant that is. I was not expecting my hair to be cut that day. Also, a style that I had not had in over 10, 15 years.
Huh.
It drastically, my mindset that day was changed in an instant. They didn't give me any time even to cry or mourn my hair being cut. But my gut feeling was, if we are not in the scene, we're going to regret it. And I mean, yes, hair grows back. I've been taking so much biotin, it's not even funny. Even now, sometimes the bangs kind of still bothers me, but I tell you what, the reaction seeing me on the screen, we actually saw it in the movie theater too, the finale.
Yep.
Nice.
So seeing it on the big screen next to somebody such as David Harbour and Winona Ryder, very surreal, very cool. I don't want to say it was worth it, but it was worth it.
I can't believe they didn't have like a wig you could have thrown.
I even said I'd be okay with a wig, and they're like, no.
Wow.
Yeah.
Now, were you actually playing in the scene? I know, like with music videos, they say just fake it and all. Are you actually playing the violin during that, or is it just mimicking?
No, that is a really great question, because in other scenes that I've done, they just wanted somebody faking like blah, blah. But I believe what the Duffer brothers, they really wanted it to seem real. So that day, actually that morning, they gave us the track to make sure that we would listen to it and know the notes and all that whatnot. But I came to set with an unrosined bow so that the bow could go across the strings but not make any sound.
Huh. Now, what's like the NDA on something like that? Do they like threaten your family if you say something to anybody about the finale? Because that is like super buttoned up.
Yeah, and it was really hard because, again, my hair was cut. I had like a huge photo shoot done just a couple months prior. Everybody knew me for my long hair. So when they saw it was cut, they were like, what's going on? We see it. Like, this is very new. Also, again, I was not in a good headspace at the time. And I had to say that it was cut for a film shoot and couldn't really, disclose what it was.
Now, did they bring you back for the secret episode we're still waiting on right now?
Listen, I'm still waiting on that too.
It's still coming, right? Yeah.
11's getting married. I'm ready. I want to really thank you for your time here tonight, Michelle. I really enjoyed the work. In fact, as I was getting ready for the interview, I was playing some of your stuff in front of my wife. She's in a band herself, and she's right now practicing her bass. She's in a new band. She was just saying, rock on, girl, you got this. Amazing stuff. And also, it's really great seeing somebody like taking their niche, going to another level, enjoying life. It's really great and really women empowering right there. And believe me, from my wife. And we talked to Jennifer Lynch of L7 the week before, so she's been really stoked about her guests as of late. She won't care the rest of the year about our podcast, but
wow.
But
I was hoping you were going to say you were practicing violin leading up to.
I practiced a little bit. I was practicing a little bit earlier today. Yeah.
But I know you put out an EP in 2019. You're also in the Wizards of Winter, and I'll kind of talk about some projects that you're in right now, the big upcoming things and so forth for yourself.
Sure. So as of right now, I'm not with the Wizards of Winter. They needed another individual, and I think she fits the band a lot better. But yeah, so besides the Celtic Woman tribute band, I do a lot of other solo projects. And as of right now, I've got a lot of things up here that I would love to do. And sometimes it just takes a little bit of time and got to save up the cash for it to become a thing.
So if people want to check you out, or where are the best places to go?
Sure, absolutely. So I'm on all major social media platforms at Michelle Winters Official because I'm official like that. And you can find my music on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, wherever you stream digitally.
Awesome.
Last question for me. As I was going through the Instagram, I saw a lot of pictures of you standing on top of a skee ball rink or something like that. What is your skee ball game, out of curiosity and all? Like me, I'm originally from Jersey. Scott's still in Jersey, so we're boardwalk people. So we got to know what your skee ball game is. We can't have somebody come in and just throwing tens all day.
You know what? I just thought it was a cool pose. And it was a little bit of like, you know what? Let's just be some punks and get on top of their machines and take some quick photos. But I do love a good arcade.
Yeah.
Awesome. Michelle, thank you for the time. We appreciate it. We wish you best of luck. I live down here in Georgia, so I'm going to try to come out to one of your performances or whatever.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, reach out to me. I'd love to. We actually have a show at Mad Life in Woodstock in March. Let me know. I'd love to have
I'll
you there as
definitely
my
ping
guest.
you on that. I'll bring the wife in on and get to meet you, and it's an awesome pleasure talking to you.
Absolutely.
Have a good night, Michelle. Thank you.
Thank you.
Michelle Winters, Mike. I feel like I'm a little disappointed in you.
Do tell. What happened, Scott?
I mean, Stranger Things is like down the road from you. We have guests getting on the show. We have people we've talked to who have been big parts of the show. You never once thought like maybe I should get down there and like promote the show a little bit, like maybe get a shirt on one of the Demogorgons? Nothing. You only take me 8 years after it's done and you show me a hot arcade.
Yeah, I make you walk a mile and a half and be like, maybe we should have drove here.
Yeah. So you never thought about being on the show?
I didn't know where they're recording now. Some of Izzy's friends actually had some like background roles on certain episodes and items like that. But I guess I gotta get in the know so I can get on the show, and then like as they're recording, I just flip on the VS shirt and just be like, I'll just stand here and see if the director notices anything.
Yeah, I don't like your effort, man. Like I feel like you also had The Walking Dead down there. You couldn't have been a zombie with like the shirt on, or maybe like a carved like website address in the chest.
I mean, they would have probably asked me to rip up the shirt, and since it takes, when we're going now 6 months of asking you for more shirts, I don't think that would have done us well by doing that, Scott.
So you're saying because I keep forgetting to send these shirts, the shirt on the zombies like a relic, like a collector piece.
Exactly.
Yeah. You know what though? Like maybe the collector piece, I mean, cards are blowing up. Maybe that one shirt that I sent out, there's only like 25 shirts out there. It could be worth a lot of money.
Yeah, like the NFTs. They're always worth everything, and they never go down in value. That's a fact.
But yeah, anyway, Mike, Michelle Winters, everybody. Michelle Winters. You're going to see her show, right?
Yeah, I'm going to see her Cailini band March 15th in Woodstock. Looking forward to that. And the wife is doing some Celtic music herself, so I'm glad I can bring the two of them together, and who knows, maybe they can collaborate.
Yeah. Mike, what do you got?
Well, Scott, as you talk about the sports in a little lull and all that, again, I must remind you that we had the Daytona 500 last week.
We did.
And we had Atlanta Motor Speedway, or Echo Park Speedway, as it's been renamed.
Is that a NASCAR event?
That is a NASCAR event, Scott. Oh. Yes. The Cup race. And I took my father to his first race in, I want to say, a good 18 years.
Oh, nice.
Yeah. So I picked him up. And of course,
did you make him fix a bed or something before?
No,
you,
I can do nice things for my father that do not require him to do.
Yeah. Why don't you tell the audience about when you bought him rotten meat? Yeah,
I
didn't
nice. Buy him rotten meat. It just wasn't good. There's a difference. There's bad meat and rotten meat. I accidentally got him bad meat. So that's not as bad.
You went to the bad meat in the month club and bought him all sorts of steaks and stuff like that.
I mean, it felt like the best thing to do for Father's Day. So,
we don't talk about that story often enough, but that is a great one too. You bought your dad rancid meat. Yeah.
It wasn't rancid.
It was.
I got him, I went to a butcher shop. I got him a bunch of items. He was so thankful for it. And then I saw him a couple days later, and he just basically like, yeah, all of it was terrible. Like literally terrible. But the race wasn't, Scott. That's the important.
Just trying to kill your dad. Just
I'm not trying to kill my dad. I love my father.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So you went to the race.
Yeah, we got into the parking lot, and my dad was shocked by certain things. He didn't know you could actually bring food into a NASCAR race. So there was like a little back and forth. I called him up. I'm like, hey, I'm picking up a cooler. Do you want me to get you a sandwich or something? And he's like, are you sure you can do that? I'm like, yes, I've been to many races. Are you sure? And it got to the point where I'm almost like, well, if they get mad, just shove it down your pants. I don't know what to tell you, Pops.
He was talking to you like one of the if you ever watched Locked Up Abroad, where they're like, are you sure I can get through security with this heroin up my ass?
Yeah, it's kind of like, ass hoagies are the most delicious hoagies at a NASCAR event. That is
no worries, Dad. Fact. It's just up my butthole. We're fine here.
I put a condom over the public sub, okay? Your pub sub is fine. So anyway, so get on the tram.
Okay.
Get to the track, and we're checking out some of the merchandise out there. And I bought a new Darrell Bubba Wallace shirt. He's one of my favorite drivers there. As we're walking through, I notice there's like a big pool out on the outside of the track. And I'm like, okay, that's weird or whatever. And I didn't know people bought pools at NASCAR tracks, but there's a bunch of different sponsors.
Now, like, are there people in the pool? Like, are they?
Well,
like, what's the clientele in the pool?
Well, there's nobody in the pool. Because as I kept walking and looked back, I realized there were sea lions in the pool. And they were having an event where you could take a picture with a sea lion at the NASCAR track.
So your dad was probably like, yes, I finally get to spend the day with my son.
Mm-hmm.
He's going to take me to, we're going to watch racing. We're going to drink beer.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to make jokes, inappropriate jokes, and we're going to laugh and laugh and laugh and laugh. Then he walks in and there's a baby pool full of sea lions.
Yeah.
And his son, he knows his son's going to go like beeline. Meanwhile, he wants to go get a beer with you. You probably took a sharp right to the sea lions.
I took the sharp right, but I said, let's get a picture because that's what they were selling right there. You could get a picture with a sea lion. So I'm like, come on, Pops, let's get a picture with a sea lion together. Now, as that
was on your bucket list too. I remember we had that conversation. You're like, take a picture with the sea lion and my dad. That would be the best.
Well, it started with just a sea lion, and then I said to myself, well, I mean, maybe that's a father-son bonding item.
Yeah.
So they have the trainer that has like a tennis ball on a pole to kind of distract a sea lion.
Mm-hmm.
As they call us up, some guys, he's like mumbling something to me. I couldn't understand him at first, and I asked him to repeat a couple
times. Your
times.
Dad saying, "I hate you. I hate you."
No, my father adores me, as most people do. But finally, I figured out what the gentleman said. He says, do you like your fingers? And I said, okay, that's an interesting question. Yes, I enjoy my fingers.
Meanwhile, you're
Don't pet the sea lion if you like your fingers.
oh,
Yeah.
okay. One, I was going to say, you have that same line to your victims. Like, do you like your fingers?
Do you like these fingers?
Stop. Why?
I gave you the Droopy 3.
I hate you. And then 2, he basically said if you touch a sea lion, you're gonna
He's gonna bite you. And I was like, okay, but took a beautiful picture with my father.
Don't say it was beautiful. Like,
yes, it was beautiful.
Your dad, and a sea lion.
It's handsome me, a sea lion, and my gorgeous father. That's what the picture is.
Mm-hmm.
2 manly men and a sea lion. That's how you roll when you go to NASCAR.
That's how you'll put that up on when you try to sell it for image print.
Yeah,
2 gorgeous men and a sea lion.
Yeah. I don't know how anybody can misconstrue what that video might be or that photo might be.
You realize how other people might see this event that's going on in front of people.
How so? I don't understand.
They see this very somewhat capable, almost 50-year-old man, and his dad, is now following him around, who's very with it and very smart, and the other guy is kind of like, is you, and you just sprint off to the sea line, and your dad has to handle you and take the picture with you.
Well, to be fair, he didn't put the leash on me when we went out, so that's why I could scurry off. And no, that's his fault.
But you realize people probably think he's your handler, and you wanted to see the sea lion so bad.
There were many people who got pictures with the sea lions. So
yes. What was their age?
Less than 50.
Okay, so now also, is this like a baby pool or like a above
It's
ground
like
pool?
a bigger pool, and that's kind of like the funny thing about it. So you look at Mexico, who banned all dolphin shows and items like that. so you look at them and it's it's okay to drag Americans out of cars and burn their vehicles because of the cartel.
Yeah.
But dolphin shows are totally out of the sorts. NASCAR events, screw it. That's a natural environment for sea lions to be outside of the Echo Park Motor Speedway.
Wow.
In February.
Okay. So you and your dad take the beautiful, handsome man sea lion photo.
Yes.
2 handsome men, one sea lion.
Handsome man. Yeah. Yep. That's correct order. Yes.
Okay. Take us through what else goes on here.
All right. So we go into the track. Got some great seats. We're in turn 4, where I always feel the most action from Atlanta is over on that side. But we had some great seats on there.
I thought the most action in Atlanta was at your house, baby. Woo! Don't do again. Everything you're doing tonight is funny, but it's very visual. Mike, I keep having to explain what the hell Mike is doing.
Yeah, well, if you put stuff up on the gram like I ask you to, maybe we wouldn't have this situation.
You want me to put your big legs, your gorgeous white legs on the that's why you keep asking me.
I mean, you tell me to give you content, I give you content.
Fine. I'll get your gams up there on the Instagram.
Yeah, we'll get all the videos there where I make your soap. Don't just put the gams up there.
You want a whole 13 video segment of yourself.
Well, I mean, the point of it was to show people me making bathtub soap while I sent it to you. It's not my fault. You're like, I gotta edit all this.
So you're like, hey, Martin Scorsese, I have these 3 hours of me making soap. Whittle this down to an Oscar winner. That's what you're saying to me.
Yeah, that would have been a great Godfather 3. Me in the bathtub.
Okay. Let's bring it back. Let's bring it back.
Yep. But so we got into the race, and we had to be like under 3 or 4 layers of clothing because, of course, going into the week, 60, 60, 60, beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
The day of the race had to be 40 and windy, where it got below freezing. So we had to do, I did 2 long shirts. I did a NASCAR hat under the dogfish beanie under my hood of my Philly shirt under earplugs, basically.
Okay.
So it was a great race. Unfortunately, my guy who was leading with 2 laps to go made a mistake and he couldn't win the race, but it was an amazing race. Oddly enough, my wife's ex boss was literally 4 rows behind me just on a whim, just on Facebook. One of those, hey, they're at the track. Wait a minute, that looks familiar. Turn around. Oh, shoot, there they are.
Now, like, how is the event? Like, we hear mixed things. Like in the South, we always assume NASCAR is booming, like but we hear like NASCAR is struggling in some places and trying to get new one. Like, is it like wall to wall people? Like, what's the event like?
I would say the track was probably about 90% full. It was a good race.
Okay.
Atlanta, since they went to like a super speedway configuration, has brought in more fans for there, which is important because again, it gets pretty cold down here in February and so forth. But and the fans in the stands came out. They were joining the race. BJ McLeod again made the race. He didn't get first. He got 5th.
5th. Amazing.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Yes. 35th. Yeah. Yeah. That close. Close.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then after the race, we realized that people don't know how to get out of a track because we literally sat in the parking lot for 40 minutes before we actually moved an inch.
Yeah, I can't say I'm surprised because I mean, even getting out of like Giants games up here, which is major metro area, they can't figure it out. It's just everybody just slamming into each other to just get out of that little tiny exit. They don't make exits everywhere, but they always have like one.
Yeah, and they always have somebody there who's too petrified to just inch their nose out so the line can move. So eventually I lucked out where it's just like, screw it. I spun it around.
Oh,
and found
Dukes.
Yeah, very Dookie of me.
Yeah.
Very.
Dookie is a great nickname for you. I'll go with that. Dookie.
Dookie of Hazard. Yeah.
No, Dookie. Just straight Dookie.
Dookie of Hazard. Gotcha.
No, we're not doing Dookie of Hazard.
Why?
But anyway, like, so you got out of there. Great experience with Dad. Just like a good, solid day.
Bonding experience with my father. He wants to go to a WNBA game, but last I heard, they're probably going to be kind of locked out and not playing. So 'tis another year, Father. I don't know.
Now, in the NASCAR thing, like,
yep.
What do you see like if you look at the crowd, is it like you and older, or are you seeing a lot of young kids kind of come in? Like, is there a new dynamic coming in at all?
It varies with ages. There are people in certain, and like the people behind me were likely in their late teens, early 20s. I saw people bringing in kids because they are smart. They do discounted tickets for like kids under 13. I think it's like $12 to get into a race, which is phenomenal if you think about $12 for a kid's ticket. Bring your own food. That's an amazing thing where you could do something cheap and bring them in there. They still have the infinite issue of being the oldest audience of any sport in the U.S. And I don't really know how they counter that right now, but I mean, they're kind of trying to do the balance of old school ways with no, you can still come in. We want more people in here.
Yeah. Well, that's I'm glad you had a good day with Dad, and then you didn't ask him to fix like a deck or anything when you guys got home? Like, just before you go, Pops, can you help me put the deck back together?
Dad, this popcorn ceiling really needs to come down tonight.
Yeah.
I'm just saying. And I mean, the race wasn't that long.
Yeah. And I will not drive you home until that thing is down. No.
Oh, damn it, boy. First they brought me and down the damn popcorn ceiling. Oh, Lordy. That's my dad make-believe voice, if anybody's wondering.
Yeah. People are probably have no idea what's going on tonight. But Burlew, anything to promote before we get out of here?
I will promote my wife's band, the Vehicle Band. They are getting packed up for a bunch of events down here in Georgia for St. Paddy's Day weekend. My wife is performing at the Noonan Country Club Friday the 13th, Stillfire Brewery in Suwannee on Saturday the 14th. She will be at Local Ties Brewery on the 17th, 5 to 8, and she has one other one I don't have readily available. So
what?
Yeah, I don't.
How could you not have that date read like immediately available?
I don't know. I mean, I was staring at myself and I got distracted.
That's definitely not a lie. That's definitely not a lie. I'll just quickly promote. Me and Mike Gaffney will be at Brick Hollow Winery, which we're trying to get comedy going there again. I don't even know if it's a private party, but I'm sure he'll let some people in. March 7th at 7:00, Brick Hollow Winery, me and Mike Gaffney doing comedy. Guys, me and Mike laughed at each other because we have so many interviews scheduled and whatnot. It's kind of becoming like a full-time job, which I'm totally cool with, but there's a lot of stuff coming up and coming out, and we're keep moving forward here. So I want to thank Michelle for coming on the show, and that's it, guys. Life is funny. Laugh at it. Keep the wind at your back.
I can't wait to take a picture with a seal at the UFL game this year.
It's gonna be great.